Welcome to Pull the Pin Radio, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions of the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
Well, Mike. Oh, now listen to me. I can't even talk. Speaking of can't talk, it must be because I've been talking so much lately.
Yeah.
Or the opposite. Maybe just put out a, for our loyal fans out there, all two of you, why you haven't seen us in a while is I had some technical difficulties on a family business trip, and then Mike had his own issues. So apparently we had to put everything on hold for a little bit, but we are back to entertain you.
Yeah, we're back.
Or entertain us.
Yeah.
So since we are just jumping back into it, I figured we'd just go into one of our right? What's American Sitrep? Is that what we called it?
Yep. American Sitrep. American
All right.
Sitrep.
And with that, it's just some stuff we want to pull up, and we can talk as much as we want about it or not. So I'll pull up some stuff that we missed over the last 2 weeks. This is one here. Miami security firms faces questions in Haiti assassination.
Is that the
Did you hear
president
about
of
that?
Haiti?
Yeah, you heard about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What are they saying about the Miami security? Did they...
Apparently, this security firm had something to do with it.
Oh. I don't know about that one.
I don't think it would surprise me.
Me neither. Me neither.
I mean, you remember all the overseas, was it Blackwater? Was that what was the group?
Yeah, Blackwater back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, you remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
Contracted and...
They said they were breeding mercenaries.
Yeah, which isn't a surprise. So, but that is unfortunate. I don't know what caused the assassination, but yeah, that's... we'll
Yeah, that would be like
right?
someone in Haiti. Hey, I don't want this to come back to me or us, so go outside the country. Type speak.
You think Haiti? You think Haiti has the ability to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, well, they could try, but
yeah,
I don't think they're developed enough to get away with blaming another country. If anything, they'd be the ones.
I don't think it's blaming another country. I think it's hiring someone else outside the country.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was referring to.
Sure, and that's very possible. Except the problem is, did we still do it? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't want to attach. I know they said Miami, but I don't want to attach the "we" to that.
Correct.
You
Good
know
point.
what I mean?
Good point. It could be a Miami security firm that hires people outside the country.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. I just remember seeing it, and I was like, "Wow!" I didn't even hear much about the assassination. To be honest with you, this is the first part I saw.
Okay.
Was that once I saw this, I was like, "Oh,
I'd be interested in seeing the end of that investigation, though.
Yeah. For all we know, it could be over by now because I think this was a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Or they might just let it go away and see if it dissolves. Because who's going to spend the resources to find out?
True.
I mean, does anybody in
who spent the resources to find out that this security firm in Miami may have had something to do with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who's paying for that?
Right.
U.S.
When you really, like you always say, look at the headline: faces questions in Haiti assassination. We're jumping in the deep end on that one.
Sure, and it's probably a preliminary too. It's probably this is probably like, hey, how did this name pop up with whatever? But,
yeah, it's like you're sitting at home and one of your soldiers lost a weapon. You're gonna get questioned about that. It's like, dude, I was at home eating dinner with the family.
Wait. Let me look behind the couch. I'll be right back.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So Jim or Sergeant Jim faces questions and lost weapon.
Good point.
Really,
all right.
It doesn't say much, but yeah.
We need more information for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe I should have read it. I didn't. Like I said, I didn't read up on it. Didn't really interest me.
We like jumping off the deep end anyway. So
yeah. Our stories are better than the truth anyway.
That's right.
Well, here's what we talked about. Yeah, right. Here's what we talked about earlier. You brought up in an earlier episode. Justice Breyer says he has no plans to retire.
First and foremost, dude, The first thing I saw was Justin Bieber. I was about to get off the air right now. I say he done attached Justin Bieber to me again. Just damn. Yeah, we talked about this in a couple of episodes ago, and I truly believe he's going to get the tap. Yeah, they're going to tap. They're either going to tap him on the shoulder, or he's going to be just like RBG.
Well, I think she actually died, though. I mean, of cancer.
That's what I mean, yeah, he's going to get sick, and he's going to have to, what do they say, retire, resign his seat, whatever.
Wait. So are you saying that there was something fishy about that, RGB?
No, she was holding on, and I disagree with it. There should be. I wouldn't vote for, if it ever came to it, them having an age limit.
I agree.
Because these people are just too old, man. They're too damn old, and let's be honest, they're not doing the work. They have a staff that's doing all the work, interpreting law, and they give their, they sign off on it. I know how things work,
Right.
And when you're 85, 90 years old, come on, take a knee, drink some water, check your pulse. It's time to go.
I'd even compromise with a life-threatening illness. If you develop an illness that could be the end of your life, nobody is going to be concentrating on their job. I mean, I went through this. My wife was sick. I mean, nothing happens. You're all focused on the health of the person that's sick. You ain't out there writing laws and creating and making big decisions like that. You're not doing that. So even if they said, life-threatening illness or something, just something. Yeah, these people are too old.
Yeah. I would even cap it at, I want to say 75, but no, I say 70. Let's cap it at 70. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I agree with that. But who knows who's gonna propose that?
No one.
All right, let's move into this. Let's move to this one here. Tucker Carlson reports DHS is secretly using a military airbase to move illegal migrants to unknown locations. This is like conspiracy sounding, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know why this is important? Because I see you shaking your head. Like, I guess you don't like Tucker. But this is like, to me, as long as Tucker said this, he's got to speak truth. Because if he gets to the point where any of his stuff sounds crazy, then people will doubt everything he says.
Well, this right here sounds crazy.
Well, right, but so did Alex Jones. But we're starting to see some of the things Alex Jones said was not as crazy as we thought.
No, but when I say it sounds crazy, it's going to sound crazy to some people who, I call it like we see it, right? Who have no clue, who don't have that experience of that right there. Just go back to the first topic, Jim. That wouldn't surprise me. Right.
Well, that's what I was saying. For a conspiracy theory, it doesn't sound too conspiratorial to me because, I mean, we've seen this. I think even Trump, didn't Trump start? Or was that just a rumor where they were going to ship people to the liberal states they were having sanctuary cities?
Yeah.
I think there was a rumor. But either way, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, not at all. But like I said, people who don't like Tucker, they're going to call him crazy, lump him in there with Alex Jones and, go about them every way. He can't say anything to those people who don't like him. That's where they're going to believe him. Because he has an agenda.
Sure. So if we took Tucker Carlson out of the topic or out of the sentence and we just, went with the headline, it's no big deal. It wouldn't be surprising.
Right.
Yeah. Put Tucker in it now. We can talk about, why is he saying it, motive, all that stuff.
Right. So, is he a credible source?
Right.
Depends on if you support him, if you believe it.
At least it's not unanimous, right?
Right.
Or anonymous, unanimous.
Anonymous.
Oh, wow. It's been a while. Whew. So, all right, let's go to the next one. This is interesting, too, because I saw something else. Johnson & Johnson pulls several sunscreen over cancer-causing chemicals.
I thought they did this some time ago.
Yeah, well, apparently even this is what I find interesting. This was a headline from just a week or so ago. But what I found interesting about this, too, was, did you not just see the article about their vaccine?
Yeah.
They just saw that their vaccine wasn't as effective as they said it was?
Yep.
So I find that to be very interesting that Johnson & Johnson is putting themselves out there getting a bad name.
Yeah, and I find it very interesting that I know someone who personally in the last 3 weeks received that vaccine, and within a week they were COVID positive. Yeah, and that was his
Wait.
second time being COVID positive, and he said it hurt just as bad as the first time.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. They think Johnson & Johnson is the one that has the. It's like the flu shot. It has some of the vaccine, the virus in it.
Yeah.
The other two are just affect your DNA or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
changes your DNA.
You grow a third leg out of your butt.
I'm not going to go there.
So we don't need vaccine passports. We'll just be able to tell in a few years.
Yeah.
The people walking around with tails or horns. Yeah.
Yep.
So interesting.
Their stock is about to go down.
Yeah, right. And you think about it, that was a high risk because I think they're trying to cash in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they want to jump in and cash in on it. Yep.
They wanted to come back. Hey, look, we fixed it.
Right.
And now it's ineffective.
Right, but even like this, like you said, is old. Here we got sunscreen, cancer-causing chemical. Like you can't have your name in there with this stuff like this, especially when you're giving out a vaccine. And this speaks to me why, I'm against the whole vaccine protection clause that they got. I'm just against it. I mean, here you got a company who's been putting out sunscreen that could be causing cancer, right? We don't know this, right? This could be another overreaction by some Californian governor or whatever. So, but the end of the day is, the vaccines are made by these people.
Yeah.
So you're still not allowed to sue Johnson & Johnson. Your buddy can't sue them.
Right.
So there should be, if you're guaranteeing your product is that good, why would you need to be protected from lawsuits?
Yep. I agree.
So 100%. That needs to go away too. They talk about the immunity for police. I know that came up where that immunity came in, but police are doing a job that's, I guess they're doing a job for the better good too, but police aren't a profit organization. These people are profit. They shouldn't be protected.
Not at all.
So,
but hey, our government signed off on it. They have immunity. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, of course, but so does the government, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's one good thing. I think there needs to be some changes. And, not to jump off the subject, but I've been thinking about this.
We never do that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like what we were just talking about, but I've been thinking about this for a little bit. Yeah, maybe we should do a whole show on it. Maybe I shouldn't even bother with it. We'll do an episode. I was just thinking about the comparison and contrast and the similarities of all these different arguments. It seems like small details are the only distinction between the arguments. And you can almost flip and have the same argument if you switch those details. Maybe I'll save that for a thing. Let's just keep going with this because, that could be something we could spend time talking about. How about this one? U.S. to evacuate Afghans who aided American military. This is a little bit old. Obviously, like I said, I think it's from last week. But you heard about them abandoning all the interpreters and all that stuff. I haven't seen an update on that, but I don't know what's happening. But I know that they were talking about.
You agree with that?
About them abandoning them?
No, evacuating them.
Oh, well, I think they should. Yeah, I do think they should. I guess but you have to understand too, I also don't know why we continue to go into these countries. I don't know if I spoke about this before, but I don't believe we need to go into these countries where we're having civil wars. Like, if you've got a faction inside of your country that is giving you a problem, that's your problem. I don't think we should be going in there and picking sides. Now, if you're a threat to us, different story. Or if you need to get out of there, that's what we do. We just come to the Mexican border. But I don't like this because if that country is going to be taken over by one faction, then the other faction, what did they do? Like, were we fighting for their piece of the land? Well, I don't know.
So, some people used to say, well, if we're supporting, or the people that are supporting us are the lesser of two evils.
So just bring that into remember the backyard. Bring it into our country, okay? Yeah. Let's say the Civil War, right?
Yeah.
So what would it look like if Europe or Asia came in and picked a side in our civil war? Like, what would that look like?
It would look
I'm sure
like,
they did in some sense, right?
as you said, Asia and Europe. What it would look like is, let's say the Civil War is Democrats versus Republicans. They're at odds. It would look like them coming in and supporting the Democrats.
Sure.
And we have
But I
to
mean,
eradicate this country of all conservatives or Republicans.
right, but you see what I'm saying? See what that brings? That they're interfering and they're picking and choosing what our country wants.
Yeah.
So if you go to a country like Afghanistan, like who are we to tell Afghanistan what their country wants?
The defense to that is we're no one. We're just an ally. The country called us in. The country being the party that controls the military.
Against what?
Government.
The other part of the country who wants to change the military to
Right.
their.
Right.
So once again, like I said, see, it's still, to me, it's a civil war. It's a civil issue. If you look at even like in the court systems, it's a federal issue. It's against the entire country.
Yeah.
But if it's a civil issue, it's two parties fighting.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
agree.
so I think the Afghanistan thing we shouldn't have been in there. But back to the topic, since these guys were helping us and are at risk, yeah, I think we should do something because then it just looks like we used them.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you go back to the movie, it's based on a true story, by the way. Charlie Wilson's War. It's a good book too. You'll see that that's one of the problems that they had with us from the get-go. We supplied them with all these weapons to what? Beat the Soviets. Right? Run the Soviets out now. We're staying there. Right? So now when it comes to, like, they gave $100 million to do this. Then when you ask for $1 million to build a school, no one wants to fund that. So you have all these guys coming back down from the hills and the mountains, and they're like, oh, can't even provide for the family because they don't have any support now. They don't have that support system. So I agree with it. They helped out, evacuate them. But the question now is, where do we send them?
California.
Oh my God. I'll wait till after the post after show. I have something to tell you about Venezuela. No, I met a guy from Venezuela. Good
nice.
conversation. Yeah. Based
Nice.
off of a previous episode.
Oh, nice. Maybe
Yeah.
we need a whole show on that too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not going to even expound on it.
All right. We don't
What's
want to
next?
get too many rabbit holes. You want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
Your Chinese-made HD TV might be spying on you.
I wouldn't. Oh, no, you said Chinese. Oh,
Yeah.
mine is in Korea.
Korea? North
Yeah.
Korea?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, this is no big deal, right? Because we already know Huawei and the 5G push and all those things. And
Mhm.
now they're starting to realize that that's, not exactly what they wanted. So there's no
Right.
surprise. Technology today, I mean, how would you know? How would you know if there's
Listen.
something on your TV?
Yeah, how would you know? And if people are surprised about that, I'm surprised you're surprised.
Right.
It's like that. Like now we're sitting here talking about Chinese-made HD TVs, right? After the show, we both get on our phones. The next thing you know, a whole bunch of commercials or whatever about Chinese-made HD TVs pop up.
Right.
And it's like, oh, this is scary. And it's been going on for years. And it's to the point now that we actually laugh about it. At least we do in this house. And we're like, okay, all right, they're listening in,
Well, yeah, I like to you, I laugh to think that anybody wouldn't know that.
Right.
Because literally you got apps on your phone that can tell you what song is playing around you.
Yeah,
Like, how would your phone know what song's playing unless it
Yeah.
can hear the song?
exactly.
Like, and if it can hear the song, I'm sure it can hear you too.
Hey, Siri,
kidding me?
what song is this?
Right,
Did you tell Siri to stop listening now? No.
right.
They're still
Siri,
listening.
don't listen to me until I tell you to listen to me.
Right.
How am I going to know to listen to you? Yeah, it just baffles me that people would even be thinking that this is possible. But I don't know if they really care. Like, I don't know. I mean, because the information they put out there, the information they're putting up on their own. It's just like, wow.
Mm.
Why would they even care who's listening? And personally, I don't care who's listening because what are they going to find out from me? That they don't find out. They should subscribe if they want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah. Just subscribe. You can listen in all day long.
Yeah, my talk
we just gave
outside
him
here.
permission. Yeah, just give him permission.
Well, they can listen in here. My talk out here ain't much different. So,
Right.
but
Like,
all right.
we're not gonna, we don't need to listen to Jim. He's on our side. But that damn
Right.
fake libertarian, we don't know what side he's on. We don't know. We need more evidence.
Yeah, and you know how many TVs you got in your house?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Damn, that's privilege.
No,
That means every room is covered, right?
not every room, but
Oh,
a good majority.
so you can't have any secrets in your house.
No, I got a 10-bedroom house, so. we
Oh,
have some-
right.
Yeah.
That is privilege.
Y'all still holding me down. I wanted 12.
That's because I got the other two, and you're not
Yeah.
getting them.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay, what's next?
This one is a relief, I think. Spain's top court rules lockdowns are unconstitutional. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with America, so it doesn't really affect our country from a direct standpoint. But I think what's valuable about this is if you remember when the breakouts first happened, Spain got hit hard.
Yeah.
And I think they said there's an older population there.
Mm-hmm.
So that made sense, or that's what they said contributed to getting hit hard. So when a country like Spain says you can't be locking people down, and obviously that's their constitution, not ours, but I can't imagine theirs is less strict than ours.
Right.
So this is a trend. I just can't. I don't know. I mean, you know how they like to compare us to other countries and what other countries are doing. So I see this as a good thing for us.
What does the average politician who supports lockdowns, what do you think they would say to that?
To this?
Yeah.
Well, probably what Spain got to do with us.
No. I'm talking about
Oh.
let's just say Supreme Court ruled is unconstitutional. American politicians would be like, yeah, okay, but we're still going to do it.
Right.
You
Oh,
know
well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
nowadays, yeah. Nowadays,
Well,
what's a
that's
constitution?
good. Yeah, thank you. That's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
That's
so
sad,
it's like,
though.
yeah, it is. It is.
It's
That's
just
why you
sad.
don't hear me really talk about it anymore. Because it's a weak document, man. It's a weak document that's not supported by all sides all the time. We
Right.
like to tweak it to our own narrative, and if a libertarian was in office somewhere ever, you know, and they did something against the Constitution, you know, who's to say? Well, you know, he ain't Trump or Bush, or she's not Trump or Bush. You know, that's and now we just accepted it, and that's what
Right.
I've seen in America over the course of the last 20, 24 years. That's why, to me, it's a moot point to discuss politics.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Well,
Tried to catch him.
yeah, I got the beginning. Is the doorbell? Yeah. Okay. Well, we're just about done anyway. But just in like war room fashion, we got our last one here. China is suspected of dumping so much poop in the ocean we can see it from the space, U.S. satellite firm says.
I wonder if they meant that literally.
Yes, I think there was a picture involved.
Wow.
Yep.
You can see it from space. Then you must be able to see all the other trash in the ocean.
Well,
You know?
Sure. But my question would be, too, is how did they get the poop all to that one location? They have an elaborate...
It's probably the current.
But I'm saying everybody pooping in all over... China's a pretty big country, you know? All the pooping all over the country. How did they get it to show up in that one location?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, but I would say it probably has something to do with the current. You
It's
know
probably
how
not even. It's probably not even poop, Mike.
you
It's
don't think
probably
so?
land that they're building underneath, and they're going to make a new island, and
Oh
we just think
yeah,
it's
that's
poop.
right. Yeah, they call it a poop distraction.
Right.
Hey,
It's a
that's
submarine base.
hey, that's normally we would say that ain't ish, but now it's really that's nothing to talk about. That's just shit. Yeah,
How do you know it's poop?
yeah, that's my thing. I wanted to know that.
And how much money is the U.S. going to spend to check that one out?
Ah, that could be a threat to national security. Yeah. What was that for?
It's somebody behind you.
Oh, I didn't see her. You waving? I didn't even see her. He's waving at you.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and pull the pin on this one.
All right.
All right. So, do you want to do our traditional pull the pin, call out, shout out, whatever person of the week?
Uh, I had a yeah. I'll do a. Well, I don't know if it's really personal. Just there's an incident, and I talked about this before. I was at the gas station recently, and here we go. Guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, excuse me." I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he says, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure. You can ask me another one." And he said, "Why do you use the towel when you pumping gas?" And I said, "The same reason why you have your mask on." Okay. And then he walks away. He said, "Hey, thanks a lot." I said, "No problem. No problem." But I appreciate that. It's he was inquisitive. There's no, oh, that's stupid or anything like that. It's just he was inquisitive. He came and asked. We had an extremely short conversation about it. And he just walked away. It's like, oh, it makes sense. No one's bashing each other. None of these people out here yelling at each other. You know me, I don't do that unless it's you or Paul on the show. And or Ryan. No, he just always wants to go and make love to his wife. But anyway, but no, it just I really appreciated that. You know what I mean? That he was inquisitive about something. He came and asked. I explained it, and he was like, "Oh," and he had that look like it makes sense. Now I know. Like G.I. Joe used to say, knowing is half the battle.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Yep. You have anything?
Yeah, actually, I do. While I was on my trip in New Jersey, I ran into an old friend who told me a story about his two daughters, and blew my mind because this is anecdotal. You know how we talked about when you hear it from people, it may not mean everyone's doing it. But he told me the story about his two daughters, and you know how we have this crisis of people going back to work, right? He told me his one daughter was an essential worker and had to work at her, big box store, whatever it was she was working at. And she just kept right on working through the pandemic. And she, maybe grossed about five, 6 grand, put in the bank, whatever. And then he told me about his other daughter who had a job at college, and she actually quit and then came home, and then the COVID hit and they put her on the unemployment, even paid her retroactively, and had, at the end of her year, whatever, she had 16 grand in the bank from not working. So the girl that worked made about $5,000-6,000 from that whole pandemic period working, and the one that didn't work had 16 grand in her bank account. All from the government funded supplement, unemployment, everything. And it just blew my
I
mind.
made 3 times as much as her, and I did nothing, and she went to work.
Yeah,
Wow.
it blew my mind because it's anecdotal, but I trust the guy. He's good because he have no reason to lie to me, and it's right there in his family. So it blew my mind. And he's not. I'm gonna put it this way: he's not on the same side as me so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's more closer to the left liberal side than me, so he wouldn't have any reason to be, manipulating the conversation. But it blew my mind, and it just right there shows you a prime example in a household what they're doing to this country, because this isn't the only example, I'm sure.
Right.
So they need to cut that free money out and get these people back to work. So
Yeah, I thought they did already.
in certain states,
Yeah.
yeah, but not all the states have done it.
Well,
And they just sent out that child tax credit thing too, which now they're
well,
trying to make permanent too.
yeah.
So, yep.
We'll
But
see.
anyway, that's my pull the pin. Enough of this free giveaways that's destroying our economy.
Okay.
Yeah. What? You didn't?
There's
you didn't get yours?
billions of free giveaways. That's
Well, we already talked about the
Yeah.
corruption of the money going elsewhere.
Yeah.
But we were baseline status quo was okay here while we were giving free giveaways there. Now you're in our backyard. Now you're causing a problem in our backyard. Now, granted, if we took that money from overseas, we could probably be way more prosperous, and nobody would we even have these complaints. But now you're still sending it overseas, and now you're taking it from us too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's a whole nother episode. So let's call this one a day. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for coming back because we missed you or you missed us. I bet either way. Until then, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here. Pull the pin already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.